Route 18 near Park Avenue was a sea of blue and white sirens Sunday afternoon. Lining the streets were more than 50 police cruisers and motorcycles, their drivers standing at attention in the street to salute a fallen brother as his body left South Shore Hospital, the Patriot Ledger reported. Michael C. Chestnut, 42, was killed Sunday when 20-year-old Emmanuel Lopes hit him in the head with a large stone, then took the officer's gun and shot him several times, officials said. A woman was hit and killed by a stray bullet in her Torrey Street home. Court documents identified the woman as Vera Adams, 77. "This is the toughest time this community has seen in a long time," Mayor Robert Hedlund said Sunday. "It's been a while since we faced anything this tragic and devastating. We're talking about a native son of the town." Chestnut's body was taken to Boston from South Shore Hospital Sunday afternoon, saluted by fellow officers and Weymouth residents who stood with their hands to their hearts. In a show of support for their fallen brother, other local police and fire departments lined the bridges along the route from Weymouth to Boston. Liz O'Hearn stood at the roadside clutching a handful of small American flags, choking back tears as she remembered a man she said she saw just Saturday. "I saw him and he said I'll see you tomorrow," she said, clutching her chest. "He was the best guy in the world. Nobody could say a bad thing about Mike. I just can't believe it." By 3 p.m., a makeshift memorial had been set up at the police station, which was draped with black bunting. Residents brought flowers and notes to the station, a small show of support from a community mourning alongside Chestnut's family and colleagues. Robert Kraft, owner of the New England Patriots, also stopped by to pay his respects. Law enforcement agencies took to social media to express their condolences, and flags at area police stations were lowered to half-staff in Chestnut's memory. Matthew Weddleton of Broughton brought flowers, remembering his own father, SGD Douglas Weddleton, who was killed in the line of duty in 2010. Chestnut, who would have celebrated his 6-year anniversary with Weymouth Police Monday, leaves behind a wife and 2 young children, ages 4 and 9. "In this day and age there is so much negativity toward the police, and they're here to help us," said Jody Hogan, who brought yellow flowers to the station. "This guy left 2 young children behind. It's just so sad. God." Charlie Baker tweeted his support Sunday afternoon. "The Commonwealth is forever grateful for the courageous men and women who risk their lives to serve and protect our communities every single day," he said. Cardinal Sean O'Malley offered his prayers and condolences on Twitter. "This tragic loss reminds us that each day the men and women of law enforcement and public safety risk their well-being and even their lives to protect us and our communities," the Cardinal said. Andrea Lee and her family have lived on Torrey Street for decades. On Sunday, they stood together in shock as their road was blocked off with yellow tape and turned into a crime scene, something they said they never could have imagined. "It's a very unsettling feeling," Lee said. "It's sad that people feel what's going on in their lives is bad enough to take out on someone else, and now 2 innocent lives are gone. It really upsets me that he chose to go on foot and cause all of this. It's just a quiet, peaceful neighborhood. You don't expect it to happen in your neighborhood." Chestnut is the 88th police officer to be killed in the line of duty across the nation this year. The number Marshfield Police Chief Phil Taveri said it was never far from the mind of other officers. "It's horrific to think about what happened," Taveri said. "The Weymouth Police Department is very close to us. We have an excellent working relationship with them, and hearing anything like that reiterates everything we already know about the dangers we face every day." Violence against police officers has been on the increase in recent years. In 2015, 41 police officers were killed by criminal gunfire, and that number rose to 64 last year. Total line of duty deaths increased by 36% between 2015 and 2016, according to the National Police Support Fund. "It's a dangerous world we live in, and there seems to be an increasing disrespect for authority," Taveri said. "We've certainly seen a move toward disrespect of police officers, and on top of that we are dealing with a drug problem and a mental health epidemic. It's getting more dangerous for officers." Pat McLeod of Weymouth lives down the street from the crime scene. He said even quaint towns like Weymouth aren't immune to danger and violence. "I think that since Weymouth has become a city, a lot more crime has been happening. I'm worried," McLeod said. The last Weymouth police officer killed in the line of duty was Officer Michael David in 2009. David, 34, an Iraq War veteran who had been with the department for 5 years, was killed August 24, 2009, when he was struck by a car while directing traffic on West Street. "We're seeing it now and you'll keep seeing it happen," Headline said of the outpouring of support. "The community rallied in a big way in those instances in the past, and I know they will do so here." A candlelight vigil in Chestnut's memory is being organized for 7 p.m. Monday at the Weymouth High School, 1 Wildcat Way.